Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Good evening, boys. Thank you so much for your participation during the class. Today we started our lesson from page number 74, Lost in the Desert. It's lesson number 5, unit 5. So I'll ask you the question in the beginning that have you ever lost somewhere away from your home? So many of you answered that you've lost in the malls and the park. So I gave you an advice that you should memorize the phone number of any of your family member, right? So it will be a great thing that if you get lost somewhere, so you can tell someone to call your any of your family members. So this is an easiest way that you can come back or you can meet them again, right? So Lost in the Desert by Margot Fallis. Margot Fallis is the writer who wrote this story. The rock dropped to the bottom of the well and landed with a splash when it hit the water. So as we can see in this picture, the Rabin, the name of this girl is a Rabin. She's a very beautiful girl with the dark brown eyes and dark hairs like the midnight sky, right? And she's throwing pieces of the rocks or the stones into this well. And you know, when you throw the stone into the well, so it splashes, the water comes towards upside, right? So this is called splash. So she was laughing when she saw the water was splashing. Here, the midnight sky, the dark hairs like the midnight sky. You know, the midnight sky, it's very dark at 12 o'clock in the night. So it means that her hairs were very, very dark, right? So then she was laughing when she was looking at the water splash and she skipped off towards the tent where she lived. We can see here in the back side of this picture, there are some tents. So she lived there in those tents, right? Summer in the Egyptian deserts could be very, very hot. Usually the weather of desert is very hot and summer is definitely hot. So a rabbin's tent was in a small village in an arid desert. Arid desert where there were not many plants, right, grown up. So where it was the desert, it was in Egypt, and where in Egypt? In the southwest of Cairo. So not many people ever came to the village to visit because you know the deserts are usually abundant, and so there's not much population, and the people they do not go there. Uh, but there was a camel train would pass through. So the camels, obviously the ship of the desert. So the camel train means that when there are lots of camels going into one line, right? So that is called the camel train. A tree sprouted up and then from the parched earth, we can see here she is standing up the tree. So in the next paragraph, we have seen sometimes she would ask her friends, Karim and Yasmin, to play with her. Karim and Yasmin, they were her friends, and usually she played with them. So one day they were walking along a sandy trail when they came to an area of trees. Who? All these three guys. Kareem, Yasmin, and Rabbit, right? They were walking on the sandy way, and when they came to an area of trees, the rabbit saw something was moving off and side of the path. So it was a furry rabbit. She wanted to follow it, but her mother had warned her that never to leave the path ever. It can become so dangerous. So she told the rabbin that she might get hurt or lost that if she will leave the path, right? So sometimes there were wild animals like the snakes, cheetahs, sometimes fox, right? Waiting in the bushes. But the rabbin wanted to catch that rabbit, so she became crazy. So this is what we have done today. It's page number 74. The rest of the story will read in the next class. Take care of yourself and goodbye.